all they probably do is squeal, but chill. When we start the revolution, when we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal, but chill.
Thank you. You know, in life, everybody's objective and purpose is basically the same. It's to get all you can out of it and be peaceful and be happy. Right now, I want you to put your mind in neutral, because right now, I want to shock you right now, because my whole message is built around my passion. And after playing 11 years and being rejected 7 times, now you know why I'm here today. We have athletic slavery going on in America today. And it starts at a young age. These are fundamentally imposed characteristics that parents are exploiting their own children, showing them that without athletics, you're going to amount to nothing. After my 11-year career, I've played with players that felt they couldn't do anything but be an athlete because it was taught at such a young age. And the worst kind of athletic enslavement came when Emmitt Smith retired in 2005. He sat there crying right in front of his owner, his master. And he said, "Thank you for this life you have given me." That's what you call slave theology, putting his master right at the hand of God. And what kind of message does that send to the youth? Here's Emmitt Smith. You showed all that strength on the football field. In time you're about to lay it down and stop playing, you start crying. I understand the emotion, but thank you for the life you have given me. A lot of athletes today, they're in a paralyzed state of consciousness, because today in the NFL and in the Canadian Football League, you got players calling players porch monkey, shine, Sambo, and nigger. And players not saying nothing because they're afraid to lose what others have given them and are promising them. That's why I've been on different teams, because I'm a man before anything. If you don't like the way I'm playing, just go ahead and cut me. I chose football. It didn't choose me. You know, there's 2 things that don't lie. That's God and mathematics. Last year alone, you had 1,002,734 football players in high school. That same year, you had 55,000 on all levels in college. 13,000 got scholarships. The NFL was actively scouting 6,000. 340 got invited to the NFL Combine. 320 signed NFL contracts. Less than 3 years of play, roughly 120 players remain. Millions dream, thousands sacrifice for the benefit of a few. Your career is over before it even starts. But these neo-brainiacs have developed the simplest method of control, and that is fear. How did the enslaver show up when he showed up and he colonized Africa? He showed up in a wooden boat with a leather whip. And today he's coming into the ghettos and the slums of America, showing up in a limousine with leather seats, passing out scholarships, saying, "Get your ass on this field and win me a championship." That's what's happening. In order to spark change in anything, you got to speak power with power. If someone's talking about they've already revolutionized black athletes. Only thing we can do is compete. They revolutionized everything else. They took the coaching. They took being agents. You got black coaches right now in the NFL, but right now you got a decline in assistant black coaches. You see? And when they put these figureheads in front, everything looks okay. My whole objective is to see the young athlete get all you can out of sports before it gets all it can out of you. That's my whole objective. But you got these clever speaking agents, these bellwethers, and they go into these ghettos and speak to these young youth, 16 and 17 and 18, living in a ghetto, and you got a naive mama. You know, from a psychological standpoint, the suggestibility is high when you talk about athletic dreams and millions of dollars. And they buy into it because they haven't identified themselves outside the walls of sports. Because when the walls of sports come crumbling down, everything else comes crumbling down. I've seen this with my own eyes. You got players committing suicide, committing crime. What good is an athletic career when after my career I go broke, I get a divorce, kill somebody, or wind up killing myself? It's good for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because the parents, I hold them accountable today because they are proliferating the problem. Anytime a kid can barely read and write, but yet the glamour of sports is something to pursue, you eliminate everything else. You eliminate education. That will sustain you. Because the development of your mind can take you further than your body. Your body has limitations, but your mind doesn't. I've had parents say, well, Anthony, he's so dumb, he can't go nowhere without sports. But that's your fault. It has nothing to do. That is your fault as a parent if you cannot expose your kids to the other elements of life like museums and science fairs. Let them pick and choose what they want to be and what they want to become. You know, in sports, this should make you question everything right here. They give individual awards for players participating in a team sport. Does it make sense? You build your body up only to tear it down. My greatest day in sports came off another player's worst day. The fight for freedom is not won inside of an arena. It's won outside of it. So now we have a crisis today. We got grown men in high school, college, even in the pros, fighting like slaves on a plantation before the game even starts. This is a moral issue that needs to be addressed today. In 1946, when the NFL was forced to reintegrate, because from 1933 to 1945, the all-white NFL didn't want any blacks in the industry. They said the black players were slowing down its growth. And then Fritz Pollard developed the Negro Football League. And after World War II, there was a big push for the Negro League to compete with the all-white NFL. So what they did was they took the good players from the Negro League and integrated them into the all-white NFL. And now, since 1946, the black players have taken it to $1 billion plus market, yet we have no owner within the industry. We are the record breakers and the trendsetters, yet we have no voice within the industry. NFL owners are guaranteed profits annually without even a fan going into the stadium, yet players have no guaranteed contracts. This is plantation capitalism going on right now. I mean, you can change the scenery in life, but the situation remains the same. And my biggest fear is this. You got 1,696 NFL players. That's 65% are black. That's roughly 1,100. You got 1.1 million black men in prison. So every time you see a black athlete on Sunday afternoon, he represents 10,000 in prison. And what are the NFL and what are some of these teams doing right now? What are they doing with their used equipment? They're giving it to some of the jails and some of the prison institutions. And right now we're going to see all over again. You're going to see the rise of the Roman Empire, where they put the slave back into the Colosseum, where they don't have to pay them. And the players will not have the opportunity to flaunt their wealth. Only thing you'll be able to do is compete and go back to your cage where you belong, right where they want you. The black athlete, as of right now, is at the zenith of his career. If he doesn't exercise his political and financial influence, he's going to lose it forever. When I look at a leader, when I look at black athletes, when people talk about athletes and they say they're role models, you know, athletes are respected because of their words and their actions. When they say they're going to win a gold medal, they win it. They say they're going to win a championship, and they win it. But our leaders of today in some of these black communities, people stop believing in things that they can't see a manifestation. Our YMCA, better schools. We got 10 schools closing in Seattle, all in the black neighborhoods. You know, and if the athletes would speak out about this, we might get something started. We don't need the athletes' money. We need your influence. We need the black athlete to represent what's valuable in black America and what's good. Because all we see in the media is somebody beating up their wife, a DWI. That's not the representation. No. It takes just a few to make it bad for everybody else. You know? And my whole biggest concern is where sports is going in the future. With the high incarcerate of young black boys being in prison, this justifies bringing sports in the prison institution. and coming live from pay-per-view. I can hear the horns. I can see the rise all over again. I hope you can too. Thank you.